little video on 9.1. It is using a table of values to find a limit. So I've come up with this particular problem. The limit as x approaches 4 of this x squared plus 2x minus 4 over x minus 3. So we're going to use a calculator. I'm going to show you how you could type this in the graphing calculator. Now this is an 84 plus. It's updated, got the newer operating system. So watch the steps and hopefully you can duplicate if you need to. I'm going to go to the alpha y equals, and it's going to give me options to put a fraction in there. Now I've got a fraction and I'm going to type in x squared. So my variable button is the xt theta n button. It just always puts an x. I hit x squared button, puts me an exponent of 2 plus 2x minus 4 in the numerator. You've got to be careful. It has to be the minus button, not the negative button at the very bottom. You got to make sure you use the minus button. Arrow down to the denominator and put an x minus 3. So next I'm going to want to calculate some values from this to put in this table. So the limit's approaching 4 and I've got to determine 3 values that are getting close to 4 from the left and 3 values that are getting close to 4 from the right. So on the far end of things I'm going to go a tenth to the right of 4, which would put me at 4.1. If I get a little bit closer, it's going to put me at 4.01. Get really close at 4.001. I'm a tenth away, a hundredth away, a thousandth away from 4 on the right hand side. I'm going to do the same thing, the same distances from the left hand side. So if I'm a tenth of the way from 4 but I'm less than 4, I'm at 3.9. If I'm a hundredth away from 4 on the left, I'm at 3.99. And if I'm a thousandth away, I'm at 3.999. So those are the values that I'm going to look at with my calculator. So I want to know some values on this particular function. So I'm going to go second trace, which is the calculate functions, and I want to know its value. So I just hit enter and it's going to show me what the graph of that function would look like. It's going to give me this x equals. All I need to do is type in these values into there. So I'm going to go 3.9, enter, and it gives me the y coordinate because that's what f of x is. It's the y coordinate. That's 21.1222. At least 4 places. Then I'm going to just type in 3.99. That's 20.1011. 3.999. Again, 20.010. 4.001. 19.9900. 4.01. 19.9010. And 4.1. Breaking news from ESPN. If you could hear that in the background from my phone. 19.1. We need to look at this from both sides. We need to have these values a tenth, a hundredth, and a thousandth away, and we need to look at all of them. We can't just depend on looking at these two right next to it because we've got to check to make sure these values are going towards this value. So what does it appear that from the left? That would be this, the limit as x is approaching 4 from the left. what does it look like it's getting close to? Closer and closer and closer to 20. What about on the right-hand side? The limit as x is approaching 4, but on the right. That's what we put this little plus out there for the right. Well, it's at 19.1, gets larger at 19.901. It gets even larger at 19.9900. So it appears like it is approaching 20. But this question asks us not about the left or the right specifically. It just wants to know at 4. Well, because the left hand limit is 20 and the right hand limit is 20, that gives us our answer. The limit as x is approaching 4 on this function is 20. You've got to judge the limit from the left and the limit from the right in order to know what the limit actually is at this value. I didn't do a problem like this, but had they been different, if that was 2 different values that they were approaching, then we'd refer back to the mean girls and know that the limit does not exist.